Geek Myths, a novel about life, love, and the pursuit of sonic screwdrivers. Available in paperback and Kindle edition from Amazon.
Scanning for audio.
Welcome once again to a Tin Dog podcast, this time talking again about the main range of Doctor Who. Now, for me, I love the main range and I adore the Sixth Doctor. You already know all this. But this story is a curio. It just didn't quite tick all of my boxes. Every time I thought it was heading in one direction, it kind of veered off and did something else, which is often a massive surprise to me, and that's what keeps me going. But I suppose an emotional payoff is needed. And you don't get all of the answers you're hoping for, and perhaps that's the nature of the narrative. Big Finish Main Range, release number 253, Memories of a Tyrant. What if you'd committed a truly dreadful crime, but you couldn't remember? The Doctor takes Peri to the Memory Farm, a state-of-the-art space station where hidden memories can be harvested and analysed. To their surprise, they find the space station in lockdown, and all its resources dedicated to probing the memories of an elderly man. Garius Moro may or may not have been responsible for the death of billions of people many years ago, but he simply can't remember. The assembled representatives of two opposing factions, each with their own agenda, anxiously wait for the truth to be unlocked from Moreau's mind. But when a memory does eventually surface, everyone is surprised to learn that it's of Peri. I don't want to give out spoilers here because that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to give you a judgment call on the story itself. It's not the greatest of main range stories, but then again, if anyone understands the concept of average or slightly better, if something has to be better, there has to be ones that just don't quite do it for you. And this could be your all-time favourite story. Fantastic performances all round, wonderful voice work. There's some incredible emotional moments. But for me, the story didn't strike the chords that perhaps I was hoping it for. And perhaps that's more me than anything else. But as the story develops, you get those nice trademark Sixth Doctor moments. You get some brilliant language use. You get all of that interaction that you just crave with Peri at various points in her timeline. And yes, this is the Sixth Doctor where they just trust each other. And you know what? Messing with the Sixth Doctor's memory is a trademark. But then again, when you're listening to the story, there's a bit where you go, do you remember reading Dirk Gently's Solicited Detective Agency, where the little kid turns to Dirk and says, "Mate, it's ridiculous. It's really obvious what is. Well, he's got a time machine." And whether or not that's part of the plot is what you're expecting it to be. And that kind of all comes together and fits. So that's fine, I get that. But of course, time travel and the nature of memory are something that perhaps could have been investigated in slightly more depth. So perhaps it was just me being left felt that way, and no one else. Look, here's the trailer and you can decide for yourself. Is it necessary to buy this one? Not as much as usual. But is it a decent story? Absolutely, unquestioningly. Buy it and decide for yourself. So until next time, be seeing you.
Coming soon from Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, Memories of a Tyrant.
Let me see now. It looks like a square. A city square. It's a sunny day. All the people There really are a lot of people, aren't there? All the people are looking up towards the same spot. They all look expectant, don't they? They're looking towards the balcony on that building, that sort of palace-y building.
And can you see who is on the balcony, Mr. Moreau?
The detail is very small and my eyes aren't what they were.
I'm sorry, it's the only image we have, Mr. Moreau. I'll increase the mag, though.
There. Can you make out who is on the balcony now?
It's a man. I can't really see. I don't know him, I'm afraid.
How old would you say the man was?
It's hard to say. Middle-aged? He's got dark hair. A sort of mess of black hair. It really is quite blurred. Why are you showing me this?
Do you remember standing on that balcony?
What? You think that's me? For goodness sake, what would I be doing there all those years ago, in that uniform?
Do you remember addressing the crowd?
No. What are you talking about?
You might have been squinting because of the sunlight. The heat would have been pretty intense in that formal regalia. The medals may have been warm to the touch.
I don't remember.
Perhaps the crowd was cheering. Can you remember the cheers as you appeared on the balcony? Or was there a respectful silence?
A fearful silence, perhaps?
That can't be me, no. I'm sorry.
Try to recall something, a smell, a feeling, a moment. This is very important. Any tiny fragment of a memory from that day.
Why was he talking to the crowd? What was he doing?
This is where he gave the order.
What order?
The order to wipe out billions of people. Do you remember that day?
No, I don't remember. I don't remember.
Big Finish. We love stories.
On Saturday the 31st of August 2019, Hooverville returns. The Derby Quad brings us the best little Doctor Who convention in the world. Guests announced so far include Ingrid Oliver, Osgood, Sophia Miles, Madame Pompadour, the girl in the fireplace, Nabil Shaban, who played Syl, Christopher Ryan, Lord Kiv in Mind Warp, and General Stahl in the Sontaran Stratagem. Edward Russell, former Doctor Who brand manager. Rob Ritchie, 3D animator on the Macra Terror. Keith Barnfather from Real Time Pictures. Chris Chapman, Doctor Who VAM producer. James Burgess, model maker on Mission to the Own remake. And there are sponsored guests including Michael E. Bride, director, and Simon Fisher Becker, who played Dorian Maltavar. There are still guests to be announced, and some of them are pretty impressive. So get yourself over to the Derby Quad website and book yourself a ticket for Saturday the 31st of August 2019. See you there. That was the Doctor Who Tin Dog Podcast, available on iTunes, YouTube, Twitter, RSS, Vimeo, and across the internet. Doctor Who and its associated properties are all copyright and trademark of the BBC. No infringement is intended. Why not become a supporter by visiting patreon.com/tindog. Contact the show on tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.